For your assignment, I'd like you to create a series of infographics and Infogram examining homicides in Chicago from 2007 to 2017. If we take a look at our original worked data, we can see that Chicago was the city with the most number of homicides and also the city with the most number of unsolved homicides. What this says to me is that the city of Chicago is worth further examination in this data. So to that end, I created a series of questions and then a series of graphics that I want you guys to work up an Infogram using the Chicago homicide data. As I mentioned earlier, you won't be required to do any data analysis for this assignment. I've crunched all the numbers and done all the data analysis for you and will provide you with the numbers you need to make these graphics. So let's take a look. The first graphic I'd like you to create is looking at Chicago homicide case dispositions, and I'd like you to make a bar chart. So if we take a look at the data, you can see I've pulled out Chicago homicide dispositions, and I'm giving you all the numbers that you need for that graphic. The next graphic I'd like you to work on is Chicago homicides by race by year, and I'd like you to create a line chart for that. So if we look at the data, we see Chicago homicides by race by year, and this should be all the data that you need to create that graphic. Next, I'd like you to create a tabbed pie chart. So that's sort of two pie charts built into one, right, with tabs that let you tab back and forth between two pie charts. And that is the default in Infogram. So if you create a pie chart, that's what it will automatically create for you. What I'd like you to look at there is create one pie chart looking at case dispositions for white murder victims and another pie chart looking at case dispositions for black murder victims. And what we'll see is that Chicago police solve and close a lot more homicides for white victims than they do for black victims. And finally, I'd like you to expand the map that we worked on a little bit in the tutorial that looked at the top 5 states for homicides in the US. I'd like you to recreate that map and then go ahead and add in 5 more states for a total of the top 10 states for homicides in the US. And I have all the information that you're going to need here to do that. When you are completed with your assignment, go ahead and output your graphic just as a link in Infogram, a link just like this, and you can submit that in Elms. Thanks so much for watching the video.